Chairman, and I appreciate the opportunity to say a few words regarding the confirmation of Dr. Ben Bernanke as Chairman of the Federal Reserve System Board of Governors. I will be voting against this nomination, and the reason is in short, is that as Chairman, Dr. Bernanke failed to recognize or remedy the factors that paved the road to this dark and difficult recession. Following the collapse of our economy, it is apparent that Dr. Bernanke has not changed his overall approach of prioritizing Wall Street over American families. My decision is based on my belief that our economy cannot recover if we do not put Main Street first. Our nation is just beginning to emerge from the greatest financial crisis since the Great Depression, and there is no guarantee we will continue on the road to recovery over the long term or the short term. Unemployment remains far too high. Credit is unavailable to far too many businesses. Families are plagued by falling home prices and high foreclosure rates. Even as we move forward with our efforts to get our economy back on track, it is critical that we examine what led us to this point. For too many years, federal regulators turned a blind eye to the signs of an impending financial crisis. Tricks and traps proliferated in the credit card and consumer lending businesses. Predatory mortgage loans exploded, fueling an unsustainable housing bubble. Regulators lifted rules requiring banks to keep adequate capital, and a laissez-faire approach to securitization, derivatives, and proprietary trading encouraged excessive risk-taking on Wall Street. As a member of the Board of Governors, as a chair of the Council of Economic Advisors, and then as chairman of the Board of Governors, Dr. Bernanke supported each of these decisions, failing to take the precautionary steps that could have averted or mitigated financial collapse. These failures are relevant to the future. We need economic leaders who understand that the ultimate goal of economic policies and the key to meaningful economic recovery should be financially successful families, not oversized Wall Street profits. Indeed, it should be recognized that although Wall Street prospered in the short term from the reduced leverage requirements, securitization of faulty mortgages, the explosion of derivatives, Americans did not prosper. The expansion that occurred between 2002 and 2007 became the first expansion in which working families were worse off at the end of the expansion than they were at the beginning. That is not a path we can afford to travel again. Dr. Bernanke is a dedicated and honorable public servant. I appreciate his willingness to serve. I appreciate his scholarship. And quite frankly, I appreciate his humble and engaged style in responding to the dialogue about economic policy. However, those factors, in my mind, do not outweigh my concerns on fundamental issues of regulation and rebuilding the economy. Let me put this more succinctly. Dr. Bernanke's approach helped set our economic house on fire. That fire has destroyed the jobs, the health care, the retirement savings of millions of Americans' working families. Since then, Dr. Bernanke has shown himself to be quite adroit with the fire hose, helping to put that fire out. But as we look to the future and we look beyond the stage of putting the fire out, I think we need to look for leadership that will be adept at rebuilding our economic house. For this reason, I will be voting no on Dr. Bernanke's confirmation for a second term as Federal Reserve Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Corker.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, and I'll be fairly brief.